Do you hear that crunch? Hi guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make delicious and tasty and really good smell garlic bread. It's our favorite to eat it with like pasta and stuff like that. He's over there. He's going to make it. He's hiding behind the door. Look at his face.
Okay guys, so we're using an Italian loaf. It's usually we use a French baguette, but because we're in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, this is the bread we have, and it'll do just fine. But normally we would have a thinner baguette bread.
Okay.
I'm going to cut it long ways like this, cut it in half. Because we're going to spread garlic butter all up in here. It's going to be like that, and then the next step is we want to chop up our garlic.
Okay.
Which might take me a few minutes.
So, how many
cloves?
I cannot say it.
Well, with a baguette bread, I would normally make pieces about this long. It's about 8 inches long. And I'd probably do about one medium-sized clove for each piece.
Okay.
But because these are extra wide, I'm doing 2 cloves per.
Okay,
so I'm going to do 4 cloves for my 2 large pieces of garlic bread.
Okay.
I just want to show you how much butter to use. I just want to say, don't skimp on the butter. If you want to make good garlic bread, I mean, the bread already has so many calories. If you're trying to cut down on calories, don't eat garlic bread. So you might as well make it good and add plenty of delicious butter. So I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons.
Okay.
I'm just going to get this nice and melty. Now I don't have the heat on high, so it's not sizzling, because I'm not looking to, that might actually be even a little too high. I'm not looking to actually cook the garlic so much as I am just trying to extract the flavor from it. So I'm going to let that melt while I chop the garlic.
Okay. So you just let the batter melt?
Yeah, I'm just letting the butter melt while I chop the garlic. I don't have the heat on high because we're pretty much going to just let the garlic sit in hot melted butter. We're not going to simmer it because I don't like to cook the garlic because it's going to cook a little more while you broil the bread. That's the last step. So we just want to kind of extract the flavor out of it into the butter. So it's pretty much just going to sit in this hot butter for about 5 or 10 minutes. The garlic nice and coated with the butter. And then if it starts to simmer, you should turn it down a little bit. You just want it hot enough for the butter to be melted, and I just let it sit for a little while.
I'm wearing sweatpants. Isn't it cool? Wearing sweatpants in the kitchen and wearing hats.
Hashtag quarantine life.
You cannot do this outside, you have to do it in the kitchen. So here's the garlic bread. It's bubbling.
Turn it off.
Turn it off. 1, 2, 3, actions.
Okay, so I've had my garlic butter on the heat for about 5 minutes. It was just starting to bubble a little, so I just turned it off, and it's just sitting there in the hot melted butter, and that's kind of what I want.
Okay.
So that's been about 5 minutes, so it's ready to go on the bread. When I start to prepare the actual bread, when the garlic butter is all ready and stuff, then I usually turn on the broiler.
Okay.
And I start preparing the actual bread. Get all that garlic down here, and then I scoop it out with a spoon and just spread the garlic around, spread the butter around, try to get it all even. Not a big deal if you don't get it perfectly even. It doesn't have to be perfect.
These looks really good.
Because butter is delicious. Okay. And we're gonna take our Parmesan cheese, kind of shake it up to break up the clumps, and spread it out as much as possible. You can use your judgment and your preference for how much to add if you really like this stuff, like I do. You can go a little heavier than this. I tend to go a little light because my wife doesn't like too much of it. But a light layer of it really adds a lot of flavor. So the broiler's nice and hot. It's red hot. My shelf isn't on the top level, but it's the second to top one. I find that kind of disperses the heat a little more. If you have it on the top one, like one side of the bread is burned while the middle is like not cooked. And that is hot.
1, 2, 3, action!
Okay, so here I have the timer set for 1 minute.
Okay.
And I do set the timer for 1 minute because it's easy to get distracted and think you'll remember and forget about it. And next thing you know, your bread is burnt on top. It literally goes from uncooked to burned like that.
Okay.
So you got to keep a very close eye on it.
Cool. Goodbye, Sid.
Where are you going? Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it's actually cooked after 1 minute, but just to keep in the habit of reminding myself.
And then you do 1 more minute.
1 more minute. I do it until it's nice and golden brown, and I try to get it as close to being burnt without being burned as possible. But that's a dangerous game to play. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, you're so serious.
You can see one side is really cooked, the other side's not, and the back one's getting there. The back one's probably done. I'm gonna take out the back one. Yeah, that back one, that's a little more cooked than I like it, but the front one's not as cooked as I like it. So I'm gonna put the front one in just for 1 more minute. Broiling is a pretty uneven process. So I just put the bread back in for 1 minute and set the timer for 1 minute. And before the timer even went off, it was almost overcooked. But that's just about perfect. You want it golden brown on top.
Okay, guys, it's like so hot right now. But I'm going to take a bite. I'm super excited for this because we're going to have this for dinners. Normally we eat garlic bread with pasta. Whenever we have pasta, we have garlic bread because it's so good together. Do you hear that crunch? One more bite. Because I need to save this for dinner. Thanks for cooking.
You're welcome.
Bye, guys.